Welcome back to this third video in the Tall Tales Little People series of videos about the real secret about how effectively to tell children stories. Before I go further, I just have to mention an opinion piece in today's edition of the London Daily Telegraph, which, whilst quoting Samuel Smiles, uses the fairy tale of the grasshopper and the bee to lecture economists on a valid point concerning many of the world's current financial problems and on thrift. So you see, as I have already mentioned in the previous video, such stories properly told to children can build a sound teaching for life. To get the link to the story, visit us on Facebook at www.facebook.com/children's stories. Children's stories, one word. But now, to move on. I'm sure that many of the viewers who do not know or remember the whole story about the three little pigs, which I started in the last videos, will be curious to hear how it ends and what happened to the third little pig and the turnip field. Well, here comes the rest of the story. You remember that we left the story with the wolf huffing and puffing but could not blow down the house of bricks of the third little pig? So the wolf turned sly and said, "Little pig, I know where there is a nice field of turnip." "Where?" said the little pig. "Oh, in Mr. Smith's field. And if you will be ready tomorrow morning, we will go and get some for dinner." "Well," said the little pig, "what time will you come?" "At 6 o'clock, said the wolf. So the little pig got up at 5 and got to the turnip before the wolf came calling. "Little pig, are you ready?" The little pig said, "Ready? I have been and come back again, and I have a lovely pot full for dinner." The wolf was very angry at this. So he said, "Little pig, I know where there is a nice apple tree." "Where?" said the little pig. "Down at Merry Farm," replied the wolf. "And if you don't deceive me, I will come tomorrow at 5 o'clock and we'll go and get some apples." The little pig got up the next morning at 4 o'clock and went off for the apples, hoping to be back before the wolf came. But it took longer to climb the apple tree, and just as he was coming down, he saw the wolf. When the wolf came, he said, "Little pig, what, you are here before me? Are they nice apples?" "Yes, very," said the little pig. "I will throw you down one." And he threw it so far, and while the wolf went to pick it up, he climbed down quickly and ran home. The next day the wolf came again and said to the little pig, "Little pig, there is a fair in town today. Will you go?" "Oh yes," said the little pig. "I will go. What time?" "At 3 o'clock, said the wolf. As usual, the little pig went before the time and bought himself a butter churn, which he was rolling home when he saw the wolf coming. So he climbed into the churn to hide, and in doing so, it rolled down the hill so fast that the wolf was so frightened by it that he went home without going to the fair. He went to the little pig. The wolf went to the little pig's house again and told him how frightened he was by this great round thing that came past him down the hill. Then the little pig said, "Ha, ha, ha, so you were frightened of me." Then the wolf was extremely angry and tried to get down the chimney to eat up the little pig. When the little pig saw what he was about, he put on a pot full of water in a blazing fire. And just as the wolf was coming down the chimney, he opened up the cover and in fell the wolf. Quickly, the little pig closed the cup, clapped on the cover, and when the wolf had boiled, he ate him for his supper. There was an unexpected twist which the child of a suitable age will find worth waiting for. Now, to continue with a little analysis, I divide a children's story into 4 categories. The Three Little Pig come into the first category, which is the fairy tales. No one thinks of a child in a story without thinking of the fairy tale. Is this, as some would have us believe, something that was left over from the uneducated past? Or can the fairy tale justify its popularity with beneficial and educational results? Let us discuss this in detail a little later. The next heading is the nonsense tale. Under this heading, I include all the funny story of childhood, embracing and accumulating stories such as that of the old woman with the pig that would not go over the sty. They all have a specific use and benefits and are worth the repetition that the children demand of them. Their value lies, of course, in the tonic and relaxation of humour. Children need light humour in their life. It does us all good to laugh. Becoming more informative is the nature story. No other type of fiction is more familiar to a teacher, and probably no other kind is the source of so much uncertainty of feeling. The nature story is much used to illustrate or to teach the habits of animals and the laws of plant life. Then, in a rather more serious category, is the historical story. At one end of the spectrum is the story, which widens a circle of connections with other kinds of life. At the other end is the story, which deepens the sense of relations to the past lives. It gives a sense of having background, of the close and endless connection of generation with generation. A good historical story vitalizes the conception of past events and brings their character into relation with the present. In the next video, we will begin to discuss these categories in more detail, as well as actually listing out some stories for the various age groups. So do come back soon. I'm sure you will find it more than interesting. Bye.